What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right. So, one of the things that is so annoying about most LeBron fans, I mean, aside from the fact that they're a cult and regurgitate talking points that have long since been debunked, they contradict themselves so many different times. They think they're cooking on a particular point, but they never seem to realize that, in essence, they really are setting themselves up for a major fail as the so-called debate progresses. Case in point, one of the things they love to point out is the fact that LeBron does so much for his teams. By that I mean usually statistically. LeBron will lead the team in points and rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, and because he averages more rebounds and he averages more assists and at times more blocks than, say, Michael Jordan or Kobe Bean Bryant, they love to use that as a measuring stick of how LeBron is somehow better, right? Then, if you talk about why is he 4-6 in the finals? Why does he have the most losses in playoff history? Then they'll say, well, he doesn't have as much help as Michael Jordan or a Kobe Bean Bryant, right? Which, when you look at it, you say to yourself, well, when did Michael Jordan ever play with a Kyrie Irving, a talent of Kyrie Irving? When did you ever play with a front court player with the multifaceted talent level of a Kevin Love? Or an Anthony Davis, for that matter? Or even Dwight Howard in his faded form. Dwight Howard in his faded form was, I think, still better than Luke Longley. And we can go on and on and on. Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh. We could do this. Russell Westbrook. Even Carmelo in his faded form was better than most players that Jordan played will come off the bench. You get where I'm going with this, right? So you can't really say that he's played with better players, Michael Jordan. The difference is the system in which he puts up those numbers is flawed. It's a flawed system. We've talked about this time and time again. The system in itself is like the communist system. It doesn't work. It looks fine. It looks like it works in theory, but when in practice, it fails time and time and time again. Even in China, they had to open up the economy and make it a capitalist economy, right? So I know that's, kind of a stretch to compare LeBron's game to the communist, the communist system, but, they've both been major failures in history, so I just thought I would point that out. Anyway, look, they'll talk about LeBron fans. They'll talk about how much LeBron does for his teams, but then they'll complain about how he doesn't have players or many players who have won all defensive team selections or all NBA selections, et cetera, right? And they'll point to, guys like Pau Gasol or Shaquille O'Neal for Kobe, or they'll point to Scottie Pippen. And so this is the thing, though. See, if LeBron is dominating the basketball the way that he does, in order for him to be productive, that takes away from other players. You ever notice when a lot of those guys, like Kevin Love, for instance, or Chris Bosh, or even Dwayne Wade, before he got it older. You notice they were better players when they weren't playing with LeBron James. So that's the thing. That's the little secret that they don't want put out there. They try to erase that through misinformation, but when you really look at it, most of the guys that LeBron plays with play better without him. So he hinders their games. Thus, they don't play as well. They're not able to get in rhythm. Whatever the case may be, they have to totally change their games, like a Kevin Love or a Chris Bosh, just to play alongside this selfish motherfucker. Whereas Michael Jordan, through the triangle offense, was forced to become a better teammate. He was forced to become more of a team player. If you actually looked at the last three-peat, Scottie Pippen held the ball more often than any other player on the team, not Michael Jordan. And if you look at the finals, while they boast about how LeBron leads the team, he's the first player to lead both teams in all five major statistical categories, right? When you look at the finals, Jordan only led the Bulls in points per game. Scottie led them in rebounds per game, assists per game, steals per game, and blocks per game because Scottie did so much off the ball. Not that Michael didn't do what he had to do, but Scottie did too. And Scottie was able to shine playing with Michael Jordan. Whereas playing with LeBron James, only he gets to shine. And that's the truth. And that's why he's 4-6 in the finals. And he would be much, much worse if it wasn't for the fact that he didn't play with so many damn all-stars. And when you look at it, when you break it down to full seasons, and not seasons where, there was a pandemic or work stoppage, he only has 2 championships. And even those 2 championships have only come within a missed shot or so, or made shot, or missed shot, I guess I should say, of not even existing. If it wasn't for Ray Allen or Kyrie Irving, oh, by the way, he played with Ray Allen, one of the great shooters of all time. I forgot to even mention him. They had Michael Jordan ever played with a guy that could shoot the rock like him? I mean, Steve Kerr can make open threes, but he's not a caliber player of Ray Allen. But anyway, I digress. Wasn't for those guys, LeBron would be ringless. But anyway, that's all I got to say about it. Tell me what you guys think.